Today we're having Nancy Dickerson, a dear friend of mine, discuss a marvelous model that I think all teachers would find valuable. And she has a knack of being able to explain things so clearly and enthusiastically, and I'm sure in a way that we can all relate to. Without further ado, my good friend Nancy Dickerson.
Hello again. I have been a crisis counselor for 15 years at a Center for Emotionally Disturbed Children, and this is a model that we have gotten extensive training in and has been a very useful model to train staff. And I would like to give credit to the people who have come in and done our training. This Circle of Courage model is from the Reclaiming Youth Network, which you can find on the internet under Reclaiming Youth, Reclaiming Youth Network, Reclaiming Youth International. This is their original book, Reclaiming Youth at Risk. Wonderful resources, people who could come and train. And we are working today with this beautiful picture here, the Circle of Courage model. I'm not going to do it justice on the board. I'm going to give a brief overview of this and go on to talk about what happens with children who do not meet this model. Okay? This is called, this picture here is called the Circle of Courage, put out by Reclaiming Youth Network. And this picture is a representation of a Native American symbol, a medicine wheel. And what the Native Americans believed was that there were 4 basic needs for children. And they are around this wheel. I'm going to put them up here and just describe the Circle of Courage. And we start with the need for belonging. Children feel the need to belong in a home that is safe and secure, and where they are feeling loved and there are people that they can trust. I'm going to very quickly go around to the next need, which is called mastery. When children are in a safe, loving environment, they tend to learn from the caregivers that they are with, and they learn skills right from the very start. They learn discipline, they learn skills of tying shoes and eating and dressing, and all the way up to readiness for school skills. If that all works well, we go on to independence. The need for independence is very strong in children. I always think about the children who once have learned to master tying their shoes. They wouldn't possibly tolerate anybody tying their shoes for them after that. I know how to do it myself. And when children come in kindergarten, they're so wonderful. They're trying to figure out how to be independent in their skills. The next one goes around to the final need, which is generosity. And when children become independent, what happens is that they're often way willing to say, hey, I can help you with that. Let me show you how to do that. And we see this, and when it's intact, children are wonderful about this circle. They feel like they belong, they master skills, they become independent, they're generous to their peers and their teachers. And what happens is that their generosity turns around and contributes to their belonging in a beautiful circle. And this is wonderful when it happens. Now what I'm going to do is modify this slightly and show you what I see with children who are having difficulties in crisis in schools. Children in need end up not feeling any of these needs being met in ways that are helpful to them. So I'm going to revise this, and we're going to call this the flip side, the circle of fear, where a lot of children are coming from when they come into school. And instead of feeling belonging, they experience the opposite of that, which is rejection. Rejection can come in the form of rejection at home by caregivers, in the form of verbal abuse, physical abuse. Rejection can also come in the form of children coming to school and getting rejected by their peers, or having some sort of a learning disability and showing up in school and being rejected from a reading group, rejected for a number of reasons due to physical abilities, not being picked for teams in schools. There's lots of places where children can feel rejection, either at home or in school. Well, When you come down to mastery then, a lot of children experience, instead of mastery, they experience failure. And when children have a problem being successful and feeling failure, they tend to also feel the rejection again. So these two, in a lot of ways, go hand in hand. You'll see children also trying to get back to belonging and constantly failing. With children who are in school and they bring in treats or try and bring in money to kind of buy friends, and children will go, I don't want your money, or I don't want your food, another form of rejection and failure for kids.